Hi everybody, it's Cindy. I hope you're doing well. The December kit that you're receiving is the start of our junk journal idea book. And so there's going to be more than one video associated each month with this kit because some of the items you need to make yourself in advance. As I said in the previous video, excuse me, I'm only charging $15. Six of that is shipping. And so I do have to keep the kits very small. And if you want to participate with this project, you'll be using some of your own supplies. But nothing that you have to go out and buy. I'm sure it's something that you already have on hand. So I want to give you a few ideas so you can start preparing. Now, by the end of the project, I don't know how many months it's going to take. I'm thinking the winter. It's a good winter project. You will have one complete junk journal. This is the perfect project for you if you are new to junk journaling, because I know that you go out and you look at YouTube and you look at all of the different tutorials, and then you're on information overload and you don't know where to start. I remember that was the case with me when I first started. And so this is going to be a nice slow process if you're new. Excuse me, I'm dry today. If you're not new, if you have been making journals, then you will be able to just jump ahead, fast forward, whatever you want to do, and make this whole project your own. So it's good for people at all levels of your creative process. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about today was that one of the things you're going to need to supply for yourself is your covers, your front, back cover, and your spine. So I wanted to give you a few ideas. This is very, very easy for you to do. The easiest thing to do is to take an old book and gut it. There are plenty of videos on how to do that. I think I might have one too. You just take an X-Acto knife and kind of pull apart at the threads and take the guts of the book out. Gut a book and preserve the front and back covers. If you can preserve the spine, fine. If you can't, that's okay too. On this particular one, the covers were already falling off, and so I'm going to have to build a spine. This is the one I'm going to be using as an example in our classes. So worst case, I'm going to use the worst case scenario here, that you have two covers and no spine. We will deal with how to make a journal in this case. So you will be able to, I'm going to be sending you some kind of junk journal idea book cover. I don't know if it's going to be this, or if I'm going to redo this. I'm not quite sure, but you will receive a digital that you can put on the front of your cover if you want to, and I'll talk about that a little later too. If you don't have a spare book around that you want to just pull apart, there's lots of other things you can do. This is one of my idea books, and I just made this out of chipboard. Here's the chipboard. Just regular chipboard that you would use for making mini albums. And I took some distress ink and inked it up, and then I took sandpaper and sanded it to give it this sort of old book look. And I created a spine, which we're going to do, and on the front I just put a piece of scrapbook paper. And so that's my cover, made out of chipboard. So you could get yourself two pieces. Oops, that was our project from a couple months ago. You could get yourself two pieces of chipboard and just put scrapbook paper right on them. Wait for the digital and put the digital on the front. Scruff it up and paint it like I did. Do some mixed media stuff. Just a piece of chipboard. This is the first junk journal I ever made years ago, and this is made out of a file folder. And you can do that with this project. Just take a file folder, excuse me, cut it down, score it where your spine would be. You have to decide how thick you want your spine to be. This one is a good This holds 3 signatures. It's an inch. An inch is a really good spine width. So you could use a file folder. This one was pretty because it had a scalloped edge on one side, and I decoupaged it. It's a little shiny in the camera now, but I decoupaged it so it feels really nice and it's a little more durable. This one is just literally an antique book that I embellished a little bit. And I don't know if I made this spine or not, but this is just an old book. The front and back covers that I really liked. And then this one, oh, I think that fell out of my idea book. Put that back in. This one is the cover. Let me pull one out. I'm under my desk. Okay. Is the cover of a paperback. It comes with this chipboard. Usually the back's a little thicker, so you can use either thickness you want. But I just took some of that, the cover of one of my paper packs, and I sewed fabric on the front and back of it. So this is the piece of cardboard that I cut out. I glued fabric onto the back and the front side, or inside and outside, I should say. This is just canvas, and I sewed it on. And so that can be a cover too. So I just wanted to give you some ideas of what you need to have to get started. And if you have any questions, certainly I'm here for questions, so you can put them in the comments below or in the community tab, and maybe other folks will answer your questions over there too. The other thing I would suggest in order to get ready for this project is to coffee stain some paper. I can't do that for this many members, and again, the cost of shipping would be too high. So the book cover and the inside pages are something that you're going to need to supply. So I would go ahead and if you want tea or coffee stained paper as your pages, I would go ahead and do that. I do have a video over on my YouTube channel on a really easy way, simple step process to tea or coffee stain your paper. I think I've mentioned this before, that doesn't involve baking it in the oven and 20 million steps. It's just literally taking a spray bottle and spritzing it all over your papers, and you keep layering them and keep spritzing, and then you're done. You just let them dry. So that's something really simple. I wouldn't cover the inside yet, because if you want to do, let's see, where did that go? If you want to do a closure like this, that's going to tie here like this, which is probably what I'm going to do because I like that method of securing my books shut. This does go under whatever you're going to put on the front of your cover. So this goes in, the ribbon goes in before you put anything on your front cover. So it would go something like this. I just have a spare scrap that I wouldn't use this, but it goes on like this. So it sticks out both sides, and then you put whatever you want to put on top. So you might want to wait on that, but for now, I'm going to be getting this out very soon. And for now, I would figure out what you want to use for your cover. As I mentioned in the previous video, the perfect size, the easiest size to work with, is one that accommodates 8.5 by 11 paper. That would be, let me see, do I have an example here? Well, I just have a signature here. This is 8.5 by 11 paper folded in half that I've been working on. So if it's 8.5 this way, and then your cover would be 5 1/4 this way. or a little bigger than 5.25. I like to have the cover be, I would do 5.5 by 8.75 is a really perfect size cover. But there's also this size too, which I really like this size. And I'm just going to cut my pages down. This one is 5 by 7.5. And this is a really nice size too because it fits nicely in your hand. So decide what size you're going to want to work with, and what you're getting in your kits this month is we're going to make our book cover, the spine, and put this on. Probably do a closure, but I'm sending you the items to make a dangle. Not this particular one, but we're going to make a dangle, and you're going to be getting one of these. I forget what these are called. They look like little door knockers. And you see these go through your spine. So your dangle needs to be put on before you work on the inside of your book too, before you cover your spine and secure it. So that's going to be this month, the spine, the dangle, and the 2 covers. And then we will start working on all of the embellishments and all of our ideas for the inside. The last thing we will do is we will sew the signatures in. We're going to make all the pages, and then we're going to sew them in at the end, because we might want to sew things on the edges like this, or I don't know. I don't want to put them in first because we might need to take them to the sewing machine or do something else with them. So let me know if you have any questions about this project. I want it to be as simple and fun as possible. And by the end of the winter, you are going to have a book just chock full of all kinds of ideas that you can keep on your desk and refer to whenever you want to make another journal. Okay, that's about it. Let me know what questions, concerns, comments you have, and I will be seeing you in the tutorial video. I hope you're well. Bye.